Alright, pledges. Huge movie fanatic Nate returning again to take you back to the sorority house. Or in this case, taking you to the Sorority Row. I'm here to review, and that's what it's called, right? Sorority Row, which I guess apparently is a remake of House on Sorority Row. Which get this is pretty cool. Not a big deal, but it's cool. I never planned to see it because, come on, I'm not gonna watch this shit. But I found the Blu-ray used at half-price books for $3. This was like maybe a couple of years ago or something. So I'm like, okay, I think I'll buy the Blu-ray of it for $3. So never intending to see this movie, I ended up seeing it because I got it for dirt cheap. So I watched it back in the day, and I can't remember what I thought of it, but I rewatched it recently within the last week, and this is just lame. It actually starts out pretty cool. The opening shot of this movie, which is probably actually a bunch of shots cut together, but is supposed to come across like a Orson Welles one-take kind of a shot. And when the movie first started, I'm like, wow, maybe this movie's going to be good, you know. No, it's just got a cool opening shot. The problem with this movie, the last review I did was House on Sorority Row review, and I mentioned briefly that it feels very much like a very, a little bit of I Know What You Did Last Summer way before, over 10 years before I Know What You Did Last Summer came out. And that's the problem with this movie. The only problem is I Know What You Did Last Summer already came out, and this is almost like a remake of I Know What You Did Last Summer, more so than House on Sorority Row. The movie begins with, I guess I can spoil this. There's nothing else to talk about this movie other than the premise. So the movie begins with this like sorority prank where they're gonna like fix this girl up with one of her sister's brothers or something. This is where I try to remember stuff, and this is the hard part. And she's pretending like she passed out on drugs or something, and all the sorority girls are in on it except the brother of one of them, and they drag the body as a big joke to this pit or something, and they're gonna mine, and they're gonna dump her down, and then everyone there knows it's a prank except the brother, and he's all distraught, and they're like, well, what if she won't sink because of the air in her lungs, and the guy ends up, this is the kind of one of the only cool parts in the movie, which is really takes you catches you off guard, where all of a sudden, the girls are talking, just pretending, faking, because it's all bullshit. And then all of a sudden, before you know it, you can see like the brother grabs this tire iron or something with a thing you can use as a screwdriver or whatever, something sharp. It's like a 4-pronged thing with a sharp. One of the prongs is sharp. And all of a sudden he's like, "Wah!" and jams it into her chest, and she's like, "There, we'll get the air out of her lungs now." And she's like, "Ugh!" So he's killing her, and he thought she was already dead, and that's probably one of the only good things about this movie. And after that, it just turns into, okay, what we were just joking about before all of a sudden has come true, and now she really is dead, and what are we gonna do? It's like, well, our lives will be ruined if, let's just dump her down this shaft. Which is kind of creepy because, shit, I don't know. It's kind of mean. Preferably you wouldn't end up in this situation to begin with, so you wouldn't have to worry about it. But luckily I haven't so far, and I don't plan to have to deal with this ever. So that's pretty much, the beginning with that scene is kind of cool, and after that it just evolves like nothing, like no one's business. There is a little bit of TNA, little bit of toplessness, but it's very abbreviated, kind of almost like, oh gosh, if we show this for too long, it's objectionable. It's weird because back in the 80s, it's just like, and now, or at least with this movie, it's like, referring to the top female frontal, chest, top nudity stuff. So, obviously, the girls are pretty hot and cute in this movie, and there's this lead girl who I don't really like her voice. I'm not going to spoil the reveal because it's too stupid to really even talk about. It's kind of like Valentine. If you watch our review of Valentine, this movie feels very much the same for me, where it's kind of like the filmmaker really doesn't really give a shit about it, and that's what it. You know, the movie really doesn't have any sense of beginning, middle, end, or any kind of sense of anything. It kind of just trudges along and just does whatever, and then it ends. I mean, very much like a lot of movies do for me, in my opinion, like these days. So it started out actually kind of cool and turned into I Know What You Did Last Summer. The kills, some of them are kind of cool, but I think they're all made with that one weapon, which, I don't know. I think we'll just go 1.5 stars for Sorority Row. It's mostly crap. There's cute girls and a little bit of funniness and stuff, but I don't know. I can't really go on much more about it. Thank you very much for watching. Eta, Theta, Beta, Keta, Zeta, Beta. Oh, before I end, I mean, it just shows the shit, that people put themselves through in this fucking college setting. And I don't know if sorority are called pledges, or if that's only a fraternity thing. I don't know so I don't know. Maybe pledges are only for fraternities and sororities maybe are something else, I don't know. But just, I don't know, all the shit that they do. I mean, I'm assuming this still goes on and shit for all this shit to get in is just so lame. These people just, anyway. There's no point to continue on with that. Thank you very much for watching.